I can't believe my eyes with Ivan Demidov as he scores one of the filthiest goals of the KHL season with this unbelievable dangle. He's on a 5-game goal streak over in the KHL, including 6 goals, 3 assists for 9 points in 5 games since Kent Hughes and co. went for the visit. Roman Rottenberg's finally playing him on the first line as he gets another 3 points today, including this baseball-style goal a la Emil Heineman. Not to mention a great fake shot into a pass for a one-timer. This is the kind of guy that we are beyond excited about, but it's not just him we got to talk about today, Jesse. Montreal, despite the loss, put up a season-high 40 shots against the Chicago Blackhawks. Cole Caufield being the first Habs player in many years to have 4 straight 20-goal seasons. Heineman, now one of only 3 rookies in double-digit goals. There's a lot to talk about on this game and a lot more coming up on this episode of Habs Digest. And let's just start with, you know what? Let's start with the game because I kind of want to talk about this. We'll roll the highlights again in a second, but we'll get into Ivan Demidov in just a minute, Jesse. But feel free to pause, look at the box score. As always, look, I don't know how much time we want to spend on this today. Montreal's coming off a fantastic win streak, beating some of the best teams in the league in Florida and Tampa and Vegas. We knew Chicago was due for a big game. They had lost a bunch in a row. They've looked like one of the worst teams in the league recently. They had like 7 players on the worst team of the week that was posted online. The Habs came in there, and I know, Jesse, your thought is pretty much that they got goalied, and honestly, that's kind of how I feel too. 40 shots, I wish some were closer to the net, but all in all, like, this is one of those games that you look at and you're like, dang, let's bounce back versus Colorado tomorrow.
For sure, that's it, and definitely I think just chasing the game, taking, a couple penalties early on definitely didn't help this team either. And we also see that, for on our end where we're having those power plays, which has been kind of our bread and butter late. Line out, as a side note, it's not an injury, which is kind of the good part, but our power play there, like, Josh, I just feel like if Line is not in the lineup, like Cole Hudson needs to be on that left side right from the beginning of that power play. So it was a little bit of a mix of error, I think, in strategy and kind of execution there. Like, that's Cole Caufield. Like, that's his spot. If Laine's not there, he's got to be firing it from there right from the get-go. But we're having a little bit of problems kind of getting set up there, I think, as well tonight. But again, just kind of some of those bad penalties in the first. We're chasing the game right as we're getting back to it in the third. We were so close. Guhle kind of taking an untimely penalty there. But, there were some highlights in this game. Xhekaj dummied Maroon, which is always great to see, just kind of funneling those lefts to him. Right there, we saw, Nick Suzuki laying somebody else out as well, so definitely some things to love all the same. But I think it's just about kind of tightening it up, and the Habs need to kind of get more into the habit of not playing to their competition quite as much.
Yeah, like, look, this is one of those games where you're like, dang, like, Chicago is, they're going to be hot coming into this. They're annoyed with how the last 2 games went. There was rumors that Taylor Hall was in tears after that horrible Winter Classic showing where they got smoked 6-2 by the Blues. But I mean, I had a feeling Montreal would play to their competition today because Montreal's coming off New Year's in Vegas. It's like there's a bunch of outside factors too. Not saying it necessarily played in, but Montreal's coming off a high, Chicago's coming off a low. And sometimes, hey, those emotions of the team, they can boil over, and Chicago played an incredibly strong game today. Soderblom in net was also unbelievable, absolutely right. But like, Montreal, I don't think took them easy. I think they had a very physical game. But what I will say, Jesse, just before we move on, like, I know playing without Laine and Savard is tough. Like, that's going to affect your team big time, right? Stability has been the biggest key for the Habs' success. But this is a very winnable game. A lot of those shots could have gone in. A couple squeaked almost right by the goal line, sitting in the crease here and there. A couple bounces go one way or the other. Montreal ends up winning this game. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not upset with this effort overall, but I do wish Montreal put more pucks close to the net. Madison with 8 shots, almost all of them from the point. It felt like, once again, maybe quick comments before we move on to Demidov. Did it feel to you that, like, Montreal was once again back to that waiting for the perfect moment type of thing instead of just hammering it home, going on the rushes, getting close to the goalie?
Absolutely, which just goes to show how many opportunities they had in this game, right? And probably why they should have won this game. If you're getting 40 plus shots, and probably you could have got a couple more. I'd like to see Hudson when he's kind of getting close to the net, firing those off as well, right? So we could have seen that shot total could have been up even higher. So obviously Soderblom had a great game tonight, but it's definitely about, sometimes we see all the time those pucks getting deflected in. It's how Chicago was able to score against us tonight. So sometimes it's about getting those pucks in on net. I believe that that's going to be a message that Murray's going to be driving home to this team.
Yeah, for sure. My gosh, just looking now, 28 minutes for Matheson. Didn't feel like it. Oh, by the way, it was cool to see Pizzetta and Struble back in the game. Jesse, I didn't realize it had been almost a month since we saw Jayden Struble. It didn't feel like it. But now with Barrett out, Struble back in the lineup, I think he did a good job. Also, Lane Hudson getting a minute of PK time. There's a lot of interesting stuff from this game. But hey, we'll let you guys leave your comments down below. It is what it is. It's a loss. Habs are back in action, though, tomorrow against the Colorado Avalanche. And if they beat Colorado, that'll be beating the last 5 Stanley Cup champions within a week. So there's a lot to look forward to. I wish we could have got this win to be 1 point out of a playoff spot because Ottawa lost today as well, but is what it is. Let's move on to some of the good stuff. And before we get into our boy Ivan Demidov, there's another guy I wanted to talk about. Now, I don't have the clip for this, but you can find it online. This is Michael Hage. My gosh, he has been unbelievable. He had another goal, 2 points today, 7 shots on goal. He has 11 points, 20 games in 16 games. I think it's 16 games this season for the University of Michigan. Our prospects, we had a lot of talk recently about guys like Oliver Kapanen and Owen Beck really stepping up this year. Jesse, both of them having phenomenal seasons. And now we got Michael Hage and Ivan Demidov 2024 draft picks. Hage recently posting on his Instagram page the picture of him and Demidov at the draft. This guy, I mean, you know he's upset for being snubbed at Team Canada, especially after that insane Team Canada performance. Unbelievable. I'm not going to dive into that on this channel. But my gosh, has he ever looked really, really good this year at Michigan? And it's not just Habs fans saying this. He's getting attention from a lot of fans from pretty much every team.
Absolutely. Having some of the best young players was the NCAA, KHL, SHL, obviously AHL continues with the season that Owen Beck's having. It just continues. But Hage is really showing his quickness out on the ice right now, which is just absolutely phenomenal to see because we know that fits absolutely this Montreal system that we want to play. He might just very well have that 2C spot open for him once he's ready to kind of season into that. So he is just playing phenomenally well. I'm really excited to see, just how he continues to develop on an already really stellar season for this young man.
Yeah, really hyped to see how this goes in college. Like, hey, we still got Jacob Fowler, who I feel like at this point, we're just so used to his greatness in college hockey that we're like, yeah, he's got a sub-2 GAA with like a 940 save percentage. It's what it is. We just wait and see. But like, there's so much going on in college hockey for the Habs that it's really, really awesome to see. Sam Harris had, of course, that great start to the year as well. But anyway, we'll get into the big stuff here now, Jesse. And it's our boy Demigod. This guy, he's been on the first line for a couple games. Kuznetsov out and Roman Rottenberg, our boy, has been saying, Ivan Demidov, he's back in that first line. He was actually asked after the game about it. I took this quote saying there's no need to overdo it. Young guys often do this. Basically saying Demidov's in the gym, Jesse, too much. I don't know. It's never good enough for Roman Rottenberg. Even after Roman's like, hey, Ivan, play on the first line. Go out and get 3 points. I'm going to say, though, you're in the gym too much. Whatever. Roman, you can say whatever the heck you want. It doesn't matter because what I'm hearing is this guy's a disciplined monster. This guy's discipline is off the charts on New Year's at the gym, and this is what allows him to put up goals like this. My gosh, what a filthy goal. Show this to any fan. I showed this to a Bruins fan today, and he was shocked at how good it looked. He scores this second goal of the game. There's just an unlimited amount of Demidov praise right now around the hockey world, Jesse. I think honestly, it's not a stretch to say he's the best prospect outside of North America right now, and I would say that's pretty clearly what it is, right? And you look at a guy like Michkov, I got Leafs fans telling me that they think Demidov is just straight up better than Michkov. There's a lot of great stuff happening right now, and I just can't believe how good he looks. Who knew, Jesse? First line minutes for Demidov means that his production goes absolutely skyrocketing.
He's been lighting it up over these last 2 games on the first line. And what I like so much about this highlight reel goal that we're seeing from Ivan Demidov, Josh, is like it's really showing like the full complete player that he is. Even I know we're not able to kind of show the full clip, but he just shows such incredible back check early on in this play. Like he's hustling all the way. He then gets back to his D-man. Like, Josh, can Ivan Demidov play a center? Because like from the clip, when we're able to see the full one, the way that he's supporting his defenseman, and then obviously he's getting the puck right at the center of the ice. Like he's taking that spot when then he continues to kind of take it down. Obviously, like the way that he attacks, it's not just north-south, but it's his vision of how he sees the game, where even east-west, where he's able to find kind of these pockets on the ice as he's coming in to the offensive zone, which is really kind of special for him as a player, just of taking advantage of all the space that is given to him in the offensive zone. So just incredible to see, let alone like, obviously batting it out of the air. And now he's a focus in this game after scoring those 2 goals where the goalie's just fixated on him. So easy to kind of set up his teammates from there. So just showing a little bit of everything, but not only the offensive skill, but also just that hustle that we've come to really know and love from his game.
That hustle and that awareness, like we knew that the defense could be there for Ivan Demidov. It's not like he was just one of these guys that doesn't play defense. There have been a lot of scouts who said, like, that could be a good part of his game. He still needs to up his awareness in his own zone when the other team has possession, all this stuff. But you're right. Like, that back check, that pattern of how he's playing, he really shows a lot of the attributes that you want to see out of a future center. Faceoffs, who knows, right? Young guys always suck at faceoffs anyway in the future. But at this point, what we care more about, like you said, is that play style. He's able to drive the play up the middle of the ice. He's able to be defensively responsible on the back check. What can't he do, right? So not only, like you said, is he showing that defensive acumen, he's showing that offensive acumen. I'll show that one more time because it's just so beautiful to watch. But the biggest thing, Jesse, he looks like that game breaker. I mean, every single game right now, 6 goals, 3 assists in his last 5 games. I can't believe it. Like, watching this guy play is like magic. Do I have a picture? Actually, let me see if I have a picture. I thought, no, it's just Kent Hughes. You know what? That's fine. Kent Hughes is magic. Everyone's magic. Kent cooked. Ivan Demidov is... Imagine him in a game like today, Jesse. That would be the game breaker we'd need. On a night without Line or something, he comes in and he could be great. So I want to hear all your guys' thoughts on our boy Demigod down below in the comments, because that'll do it for this episode of Habs Digest. Even though we lost, there's a lot to be positive about. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for supporting us every single day. I'm Josh Gosse, my co-host Jesse Poirier. We'll catch you in the next one.